Today I'm going to teach you how to detail a car inside and out, how to touch it up, how to do it correctly, what chemicals to use, what not to use. I work at Rager Dykes Auto Detailing Shop. It's on 34th and Erskine. It's the reconditioning center for all of Rager Dykes. When I'm first training someone, I always tell them if it can be clean, clean it. And that's something to keep in mind when you're detailing. Now, if you're just doing a quick wash, yeah, that's fine. You can miss stuff here and there, but when you're detailing a car professionally as your job title, there's a lot of things that you may and may not know. Now, the first thing I show a guy when I'm teaching them is start with the inside first. Now, when you're doing it, I say that because if you wash the truck first and say you're blowing out the under the seats or blowing dirt out or whatever, then most likely the truck's going to be still wet and that vehicle you're blowing out dirt and just debris, grass, rocks. It's gonna get all over the clean truck. So I always clean first. Do the inside first. The first thing I usually do is blow it out, take out all the trash, and get it all cleaned up. Open all the doors, and then I start armor rolling. Now this is the chemical we use. It's white. It's called armor roll, and you use it on any hard surface or rubber, vinyl. In the door jambs, it has that rubber piece. This is real good for that. The only thing you don't use this on is the windows, the cloth seats. You can use this on leather seats, any color. But I usually soak each door one at a time, and I blow out all the cracks as I'm going. I do that to all the doors, and then I do the dash. I spray it on the dash, wipe it off real good, make sure I didn't miss anything at all. Then I soak. What I'll do is I'll soak the where the air conditioning comes out, those vents. I'll soak them real good, and I'll hold a towel over and I'll blow it out really good. And that usually works very well. The next thing I'll usually do is the seats. Now, if it's cloth seats, they're going to take you a while, and I usually actually do those first. But if they're leather seats, they don't take as long. This is a product we use. It's called Clean Off. You can get it from Robbie's. It's a very popular place for detail shops, and mobile washes. And this stuff you can use on bugs for the outside. You can soak the engine real good and spray it off. It'll come right off. You can use this on some tar when you're washing cars, but mainly what you'll do is you'll soak piece by piece the cloth or leather seats. You'll soak them piece by piece. Scrub it with one of the brushes we have. Now it's very important that you watch your overspray. So say you've done this part of the seat already and you're doing this part of the seat, you want to cover this part with a rag or something so you're not getting a whole bunch of overspray on that because that can be a pain in the butt. Now the next thing I'll do all the seats piece by piece, front, back, sides, everything. After that I'll begin to scrub the seats. I mean scrub the carpets. I'll scrub the carpets. I use the same that clear chemical, that clean all chemical, and it's not water, I promise you. I'll use that on the carpets, and what I'll do is I'll try to vacuum up the bigger stuff first, with the smaller stuff. I mean, if you're scrubbing the carpets, there's going to be debris that comes out of the carpets, and if I can get with that chemical, you can get almost anything out of the carpets now, like gum and stuff like that, caramel, candy, stuff that's really chewy, laffy taffy. That stuff's a little more difficult to get out because it's stuck, obviously, and you can't just brush something that sticky that's been sitting there out in the heat that long. What we'll do is we'll get a chemical, and I'm not really sure what it's called because I rarely ever have to use it, but it basically freezes up. You spray it, and it'll freeze up the gum or caramel or whatever you want to call it, whatever's there, and you can just kind of scrape it out with the razor. It's important to be careful with razors because I've had my experience, and the guys I work with, they've had their experiences too, and yeah, they can be very sharp at times. It's important to be careful with razors when you're taking off glue or whatever stickers, whatever you need to take off. As I'm scrubbing the carpets, I'll usually mist it, as piece by piece. So the back left seat, the front left seat, the front right seat, the front back seat, and then the middle and the back seat. And that's just for a normal truck. But if it has a third row, it's the same thing. You just do piece by piece. So you do a whole carpet, and I'll usually mist it. And then as I'm misting it, getting it all nice and wet, I'll soak the dark spots that are just really really bad. And what I'll do then is just scrub them as where it needs extra elbow grease. That's where I'll scrub more. And then after that, I'll touch up vacuum. I'll use this green chemical for the inside of the windows. It's just glass cleaner. It has alcohol in it, so yeah, it works pretty well. That's for the inside and the outside windows. And then after that, I usually soak the engine with that either the Armor All or the Clean All, and I'll pull it over to the wash bay and I'll start spraying it down. I'll get the whole vehicle wet and all around it. Get the fender wells, spray off the wheels and tires. Then I'll spray the engine off. I'll get all the bugs off with that Clean All chemical, and I'll spray some Clean All on the front windshield and spray that off. Make sure I have all the bugs off. Close the hood, and I'll begin to scrub. And when you're scrubbing, it's important to not to miss, because if you miss, say a lot of people miss like on the side skirt on like a black Tahoe. If you miss that, it's gonna look terrible and it's gonna be hard to fix with that glass cleaner because it's black. And now if it was a white car and you missed that glass cleaner, will fix it up where you won't be able to see a smudge. But if it's a black car, it's a little different. So as you're scrubbing, it's important to just scrub everything. Just go over it twice if you need to. That's what I usually do. I usually start with the hood. I do the hood, the bumper, the hood, the windshield, the top of the roof, the back windshield, and then if it's a car, it has the trunk and then the bumper, and I'll spray it off. It's important to do it piece by piece because when you're washing, I have to wash outside a lot. When it's hot outside, what happens is the soap will dry to the car, and it'll leave oily stains and streaks. Now after that, I'll do the left side and the right side, rinse it off real good, and then pull it up, dry it off, and it's important to dry it off correctly and to blow out the mirrors. And when you're done with that, you just walk around the car, make sure everything looks right, use the glass cleaner if you need to, and that's about it.